Forging links.
Forging links.
Forging links, one person at a time.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I know it's night time.
Hello.
Hey, lovely to have you guys here. Welcome to our team huddle. It has been an exciting week on lots of different levels. I'm sure there's people in the room that are feeling both positive or negative, depending on what chats you're looking at and what groups you're in. I can say that I am in a very positive space. How are you, Mr. Gunson?
Yeah, it's been good. It's there's a lot, as you say, there's a lot of information out there. It takes a bit of time for me to digest it all. So I'm kind of trying to still absorb some information because I missed quite a bit of it. One of the downfalls of having grandkids is school bus runs, and I've been on 3 of them today. So it's been a bit of as you know, you can't afford to sleep in this job. Once you sleep, you miss everything.
A prime example of that was today, right? You know, I get fearful going to sleep because I miss stuff, because it always happens when I'm asleep. Woke up this morning, heaps of exciting messages like, woo, this is great. And then heaps of other messages like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. So I was like filtering my way through all these messages, came out positive on the other side of all of it, which I've got Dee on the call today. She's going to share some stuff with us, some really positive stuff. But before we do that, Dee, and we've also got Ben going to share us some stuff on some NFTs. And this is what we spoke about last huddle, about people put your hand up and come in and share something. Ben did that today and Dee did it. So I'm really, really happy that you guys have put your hand up.
I'm excited. It gives me a bit of a rest. Good stuff, you guys.
Right, but before we get started, I'm going to give another little shout out for this Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I've broken down a tiny little section. It was really hard to break it down to 5 minutes. It's about drifting. So if you've listened to this, you will understand what it's about. It's only, let me check my mouse. It's 5 minutes, 23 seconds. So if you don't want to listen to it, like I said, go make a cup or whatever. But this is important stuff. Like I got this straight away the first time I heard it because I was a drifter just about my whole life. So I'll put it on, I'll stop talking, and yeah, share screen. Just give me a thumbs up so I know you can hear it when it starts.
My greatest weapon over human beings consists of 2 secret principles by which I gain control of their minds. I will speak first of the principle of habit, through which I silently enter the minds of people. By operating through this principle, I establish, I wish I could avoid using this word, the habit of drifting. When a person begins to drift on any subject, he is headed straight toward the gates of what you earthbound call hell.
Describe all the ways in which you induce people to drift. Define the word and tell us exactly what you mean by it.
I can best define the word drift by saying that people who think for themselves never drift, while those who do little or no thinking for themselves are drifters. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. He would rather let me occupy his mind and do his thinking than go to the trouble of thinking for himself. A drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws in his way without making a protest or putting up a fight. He doesn't know what he wants from life and spends all of his time getting just that. A drifter has lots of opinions, but they are not his own. Most of them are supplied by me. A drifter is one who is too lazy mentally to use his own brain. That is the reason I can take control of people's thinking and plant my own ideas in their minds.
I think I understand what a drifter is. Tell me the exact habits of people by which you induce them to drift through life. Start by telling me when and how you first gained control of a person's mind.
My control over the mind of a human being is obtained while the person is young. Sometimes I lay the foundation for my control of a mind before the owner of it is born, by manipulating the minds of that person's parents. Sometimes I go further back than this and prepare people for my control through what you earthbound call physical heredity. You see, therefore, I have 2 approaches to the mind of a person.
Yes. Go on, and describe these 2 doors by which you enter and control the minds of human beings.
As I have stated, I help to bring people into your world with weak brains by giving to them before birth as many as possible of the weaknesses of their ancestors. You call this principle physical heredity. After people are born, I make use of what you earthbound call environment as a means of controlling them. This is where the principle of habit enters. The mind is nothing more than the sum total of one's habits. One by one, I enter the mind and establish habits, which lead finally to my absolute domination of the mind.
Tell me of the most common habits by which you control the minds of people.
That is one of my cleverest tricks. I enter the minds of people through thoughts which they believe to be their own. Those most useful to me are fear, superstition, avarice, greed, lust, revenge, anger, vanity, and plain laziness. Through one or more of these I can enter any mind, at any age. But I get my best results when I take charge of a mind while it is young, before its owner has learned how to close any of these 9 doors. Then I can set up habits which keep the doors ajar forever.
I'm catching on to your methods. Now, let us go back to the habit of drifting. Tell us all about that habit, since you say it is your cleverest trick in controlling the minds of people.
As I said before, I start people drifting during their youth. I induce them to drift through school without knowing what occupation they wish to follow in life. Here I catch the majority of people. Habits are related. Drift in one direction and soon you will be drifting in all directions. I also use environmental habits to give me a definite grip on my victims.
I see. You make it your business to train children in the habit of drifting by inducing them to go through school without aim or purpose. Now, tell me of some of your other tricks with which you cause people to become drifters.
My second-best trick is not second at all. It is first. It is first because without it I never could gain control of the minds of the youths. Parents, school teachers, religious instructors, and many other adults unknowingly serve my purpose by helping me to destroy in children the habit of thinking for themselves. They go about their work in various ways, never suspecting what they are doing to the minds of children or the real cause of the children's mistakes. Once I capture the mind of a child through fear, I weaken that child's ability to reason and to think for himself, and that weakness goes with the child all through life. It makes no difference to me how a child's will is subdued, as long as it fears something. I will enter its mind through that fear and limit the child's power to think independently.
It seems that you go out of your way to keep people from thinking.
Yes, accurate thought is death to me. I cannot exist in the minds of those who think accurately. I do not mind people thinking, as long as they think in terms of fear, discouragement, hopelessness, and destructiveness. When they begin to think in constructive terms of faith, courage, hope, and definiteness of purpose, they immediately become allies of my opposition, and are therefore lost to me.
All right. Like I said, that is just a very condensed part of the bit in that Outwitting the Devil audio-book on drifting and the habit of drifting. And what it is if you don't have a definitiveness or definiteness of purpose, you will drift. And I totally get that. When he was talking about drifting and it starts young, I had wonderful parents. They both worked very hard, but I drifted everywhere. Started in school and I never had any sort of real clear path. And if you don't have a clear path, if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. So and like for us now, with what's going on with hyper and everything like that, we need to work out where we're actually going, because otherwise we're just going to drift all over the place. So I just thought that was really, really imperative for us to listen to today. I'll post that actual little short bit in the Facebook group, but I can't urge you strongly enough, listen to that whole book and listen to it over and over again, because things start to make sense. Okay, right. And so has anyone else got anything to say on that drifting before we move on? Nope, doesn't sound like it. All right, I'm going to ask our lovely Dee to unmute, and I'm going to bring her in. Now, Dee was one of the exciting, add spotlight, one of the exciting message lots that I woke up to this morning, and she's been really positive all throughout the week when there's been a lot of other negativity going on. So I asked Dee to share. So she's going to share what she's found out for those of us who miss the important calls because we're sleeping. Welcome, lovely.
Hi.
Thank you
Hi,
for being
everybody.
here. We
Hi,
appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Right. What I took from, I've seen a few of these calls now, because Keith's doing them back to back. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yeah.
I think I've seen a lot of negativity from people who have watched exactly what I've watched. So I'm just going to say, like, the answers that I heard. It's not my opinion. This is what I've written down, what I heard.
Perfect.
I'm very aware that each and every call is different, because obviously there's different people asking different questions, and we've not got to forget it's an ever-changing situation, because they are deciding things all the way along while they're building this. So one thing I heard yesterday, it actually turned into something else today from the same person, MK.
Right.
So, you know, it is ever changing. Right, my favourite thing that I heard today was someone asked, how can we trust Hyper to deliver? Confidence is very low right now. And MK said, there are liquidity issues and there's bankruptcy all around us. We want to save our community.
Which we knew they would want to.
We are perfectly on plan with what we're doing. We are not running away, and we are not making excuses. Perfect. Now, I loved to hear that, because I felt like that. Like, obviously, they want to keep the community and save the community and make everything all right. But to actually hear it straight from them, you know. Yeah, to actually hear it from them was quite powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are, you know, they are doing their best to fix this. Right. Someone asked about, and I hear this a lot, that people are not liking the faceless owners.
Oh, yeah.
MK was speaking with Keith Williams, and Keith knows MK and has seen him regularly. He has worked for the Hyper Group for 3 years, MK, and he assured us today that our owners that we have in Hyper Nation are the exact same people we have had for the last 2 years. Now, I have heard the opposite of that all over the place.
Me too.
Heard this.
Me too.
Right, well, I heard that for a fact today directly. He did say Jaden Wee left, but I already knew that.
Yep.
That he left a while ago. So I thought that was interesting, at the side of everything I've been hearing, that we don't even know who our owners are.
Yeah. Awesome.
All members will be able to have asset negotiations, all members. And that includes members that don't even buy a box, all members.
Oh,
we are all, every single member is part of the Hyperverse recovery programme.
Yep. So
we know that the priority for withdrawals is the people who haven't withdrawn and the people who haven't had their one times. They are hopefully to be dealt with within 2 months. Yeah. And within this phase of recovering and the withdrawals, it could last 2 to 6 months. Yep. I'd heard that on more or less every call. Yeah. But obviously those 2 groups of people are the first priority when we're talking about withdrawals.
And
but everybody.
Can I just say something here? Because I notice in a lot of the chats, people are saying, oh, we just, you know, we want everyone's going to get their 1x. So people are thinking that that's not all they're going to get. It's not that, is it?
That is, to me, the way I've interpreted what I've heard today very, very clearly is this 1x is talking of the beginning of, these are the people who are going to be allowed to withdraw first to at least get their 1x. And that is about initial recovery phase of withdrawals. And that is all. Yeah. And there's more to this. There's more to this later. But that 1x is about the first people withdrawing. I had been made to believe that we're all only looking at 1x. Yeah. That's how I was feeling. Do you know what I mean? Right. Yeah. So everybody is in the recovery plan, and but obviously rightly so, the people who haven't withdrawn or haven't withdrawn 1x will be the very first people to be. What they will do is they will receive those people in those groups will be identified by software, and they will receive an email from Hyper explaining that they may withdraw, how much they may withdraw, and what coin to use.
Perfect. Perfect.
Hyperverse is downscaling, not closing. For the people who do not decide to go into Hypernation, rebuys are going to stop.
Now, I saw somebody this morning, I'll just stop you there, Dee. I saw somebody this morning in one of the chats saying that's terrible that rebuys are going to stop. When I first came into Hyperverse, I remember Kalpesh himself saying, is this platform going to be here forever? No. Do we know how long? No. Are rebuys going to be around forever? No. So this is not like it's a shock and they've just pulled it out of nowhere. I heard that way back in the beginning, that one day the opportunity to rebuy will stop.
Right, it's not going to, there are rebuys in Hypernation, but I am just talking about Hyperverse. Yeah. So rebuys are going to stop, and it is likely that the rate of rewards being given there will slow down, he said. Yes. So Keith said, does that mean it'll be less than the 0.3% daily? And he said, yeah, but this may slow down. He did say very definitely that all assets will stay and that 4x stays. Okay.
So nobody's going to actually lose out with the Hyperverse accounts. Nobody.
No. So you may stay at Hyperverse if you wish, but you do know that the rewards are going to be paid more slowly and that there's not going to be rebuys. Anyone who gets the 100 NFT, you will be able to migrate your assets to Hypernation using a mid platform that is being built. Because like the purple and the platinum will be having a deal and taking everything over with them, the 100 NFT members will use this mid platform to take their assets across.
Perfect.
But everybody will be having. Oh, and when they talk of asset migration, they are very definitely talking about, he said, it's your certified, your offset, your DeFi, your mining contracts, your pending, it's everything that will all be, all be sorted out together.
Love it, love it, love it.
There will definitely be no way that anyone will be able to further abuse the system going forwards, because our individual NFT passport makes that impossible. And they will also be able to scan the chain, and they've got mechanisms in place. And if they did see anything breaking through, they would suspend those accounts immediately.
Perfect.
Keith Williams said on Wednesday in his call that he is personally seeing to it that every single cheating leader, bomb thrower, anything like that will be waking up to zeroed accounts, and he will personally make sure of that. All bad apples are to go.
Yep.
Keith asked MK if he would go back and request an extension for us on getting our NFTs, because it's next week and it's not long enough. Keith said to him, we're still in the process of getting news out to members, and it's just not long enough. So he asked him a couple of times, and at the end of the call, MK said that he would certainly go and ask for us. Yeah. Because there's a few issues. There were people saying they've got funds stuck on Who, and Who aren't allowing withdrawals at the minute. So how can these people buy the NFTs? Now, he did say that MK said that it's not within his scope to comment on Who withdrawals because it's a separate entity, but
yeah, and that's it. I think they do they will understand that there's people that would want to move forward, but and I'm one of these people, I want my purple box, but right now and leading up until what they're saying is the cutoff date now, I just can't pull 10K out of out of fresh air.
No,
So,
yeah.
but that's why I believe that they're going to look after us. I have believed that all the way along, and as things come out, it's showing that they are going to look after us. So I believe, I have faith, just like going on like outwitting the devil thing, that's going to come through.
We asked again if we could use HU for the 100 NFT, and we're told not at this time. Keith did say to them that members are stuck, that there are people who want to buy the NFT but cannot raise the USDT at this time. So I've seen them, being made aware of that. Multiple accounts will be looked at case by case. I saw one Wednesday where someone has put 100,000 in 4 separate accounts when they joined. They were told that this was okay. MK said that would not be seen as abuse of the system. If you're looking like 10 plus accounts and it's clear that you're cheating, obviously, but things like where you've opened them for a few family, and they are going to look at that, and they're not going to penalise us for that.
No. Which is brilliant, because initially I was, way back when, I was a little bit scared when they first started talking about multiple accounts being an issue, because I thought, I was told when I came in that you could do that, and so I opened up $300 accounts for all my grandkids and $1,000 accounts for all my kids. I got 6 kids and 9 grandkids, so I
think a lot of us have.
Yeah, I've been told that's not a problem.
Can I just comment on that, Dee, just to clarify that? Where the concern on the multiple accounts wasn't necessarily that people had accounts for the kids and the grandkids. It was the fact that they were passive. All they were doing was opening up big deposit accounts, taking the rewards, getting the Forex, pulling the rewards out. They weren't building, they weren't bringing anybody in. They were just 100% abusing the system. They didn't bring anybody in. They weren't getting accounts for grandkids, kids, family, friends, uncle, aunties. They were just totally abusing the system. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Right, being asked about presenting, why have we still got presentations going on? He said, were we to get a new member at the moment, they would just buy a 100 NFT and wait until August when the new packages are available. That would be, the route to go down, he was saying. The next question was, do we all start at 0 rank? And he said, yes, everyone will start at 0 rank, but you will all have your assets and some of your organisation.
What's that again, Dave?
About starting at 0 rank. He said, yes, you will all start at 0 rank, so it's a whole fresh new, but you will obviously have your assets and some of your organisation. So it's not like completely 0, but hyphenation withdrawals moving forwards. They've got a pool, and it will be protected. They'll amend levels, and it will be done in a controlled manner. So there will not be withdrawal issues on hyphenation.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And like from the minute you go in there, there's no issue with withdrawals.
No issue.
Awesome.
Early next week, we'll see a clear picture of what hyphenation looks like. Early next week. For migration purposes, the purple and the platinum will be dealt with as a priority for migrating assets. This is because the leaders that are willing to come in, pay and say, I'm willing to fight for this, I'm willing to work, are going to be sorted out first. This is separate to the withdrawals. This is just about the negotiations for bringing across your HU and what have you.
Yeah.
Also, I was told that the poor communication from the company.
Yeah.
This I liked. that the purple and platinum will be given a dedicated community manager each, that will deal with all of your enquiries, and you'll be given a community website, materials, and like tutorials and training and things like that.
Brilliant.
So that's for every purple and platinum NFT holder.
Yep, perfect. So that way it brings the corporate level to more people throughout the community.
Yes, so each leader has got someone they don't go to support, they go to this person for your enquiries. You will go to this set named person.
Perfect. I noticed with Gobi, is it Gobi? I noticed he's in touch with corporate every day, and so you could ask him a question and he can get that answered within a few hours at this point. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the main of the things that I'd outlined to say tonight. I did pop a little thing of my notes in Pinocky's Telegram chat detailing everything that I heard Wednesday, but that was just kind of a summary of what they'd said. And for me, it's like I like the manager, that the communication's going to be better. I like that they've said, we are trying to save you. Even I heard today something that I'd not heard before, when people are complaining about the mistakes made and why didn't they notice sooner. Oh, they noticed. They said today that they got hold of some leaders and asked them to stop it. They had words with them and it just did not stop them. And then obviously this grew, and then the bear market hit, and then it all just snowballed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They weren't sitting there doing nothing. They did do things, but they got ignored.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yvonne's just said absolutely beautiful, truthful info. Thank you for sharing. Another thing too, I was just going to say, Dee, if you could, like Pinocky's group, if anyone in this call isn't in Pinocky's Telegram group, we need to get in there. Is there an invite link, or do we just invite them separately?
You're in, aren't you? You can invite them.
Okay.
Yeah, you can invite them.
Anyone that wants to be in that, just let me know after the call or in the chat, and I'll invite you into Pinocky's group. Yeah, Kev's just said, I feel honoured to be involved in the test bench of Hyper Nation. Me too. We're getting ground level in the metaverse as a community. Like, to me, that just is so flipping exciting. And of course, there's going to be hiccups because it's all, like you said, Dee, it's evolving as they go. Like, they're working things out as they go. My personal feeling is that they were sort of, their hand was called faster than maybe they were ready with all the stuff that came out, the bear market, the dodgy accounts. I think this might have been in their plan, but they had to come in quicker than they were ready at that point.
Yeah. I think just one thing I'd like to say, this isn't from that call. I'm seeing a lot of like team builders running around like headless chickens. I think, like, I've stopped and stepped back and thought about it. We are not just little network marketing machines. Like, there's so much for us to learn and do that's different in this space that we're about to enter. We should take a look at it, embrace it, and learn it.
Sorry, I just had to go and take my grandson out. He's very distracting. Yeah, well, you remember when we started with Hyperverse, right? When we first started, it went all over my head. The first time I watched a presentation Paul sent, I just thought, there's no way I'll ever get this. And it'll be kind of like Hypernation. Everyone going into there will be the same thing. It's about whatever effort you put in to learn, it's gonna benefit you. It's gonna come back. It's that law of the universe. It's what you put in, you get back tenfold.
But there's so much in there that we can do as a community, individually and as a community. There's just so much to learn and do in there. I'm so excited. Yeah,
me too. I'm really excited. I just had to unspotlight Paul because he looks like he's fading fast. It's getting late. Oh, that's
all right,
awesome.
Well, that's about it. That's about all the info I've got for you, but I hope that helps.
Oh, it helps a lot. And another thing too that like I've found out and you told me about, is that Pinnaky's going to have a call. I think it's tonight, my time, 10 p.m, your time, 11 a.m. or something tomorrow.
Yes, I'm on that, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go on that, and I'd encourage anyone that can get on it to get on it, because he's just going to be talking about exactly pretty much what you've spoken about, isn't it, Dee? And just people just having a conversation. So we get so much out of it when we all come together in one spot. It's that strength and power of numbers.
I can't wait to hear his take on it, because I really do value his opinion on it.
Me too. Absolutely. Yep. Tracy's just said, thank you so much, Dee. Like, we really appreciate you taking the time and turning your camera on for us, because I know you don't usually like to do that. But we love seeing your beautiful face. We do. It's awesome.
Well, I've got to do it again on Pinnaky's tomorrow, so this is just what I do now. I'm going to be brave.
Brilliant. You're an emerging butterfly. This is what we do. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, lovely. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the call, on Pinnaky's call.
Okay, appreciate you.
Okay,
thank
bye,
you.
darling. Right, that was friggin' awesome. Remove spotlight. Now I'm going to bring in our lovely Ben. Unmute, my friend.
Good morning.
There we go.
Good evening in the UK. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you good. Yep.
Yeah, this microphone takes a couple of seconds to pick up. Thank you so much, Dee. That's awesome. That was great news. Very happy to hear that. So what I wanted to do today is just wanted to share some stuff I've learned just over the last couple of weeks about NFTs. And a lot of what I've learned was from that PDF that was sent out a few weeks ago. I think it came through Hyperverse. So I had some time one day, I read that and got really excited about it. I'm going to post that into the chat later on, unless someone else can do it for me if they've got it on hand. But I just wanted to share some basic stuff I've learned, and it's not a comprehensive thing. So if people know other stuff that I've forgotten or don't show today, just if you'd like to share that, that's good too. But basically what I want to show you first of all is how to post an NFT on OpenSea. So I'm only using OpenSea, that's what I've used, and I'm just going to share my screen. I was going to share my iPhone, so okay, great. So I've done everything on my phone with this. And so what I'm going to do, first of all, the first thing you need to do is you need to set up a MetaMask wallet or a wallet. It doesn't have to be MetaMask, but that's just what I've used. And so that's the first thing you got to do. Once you've done that, you then need to connect OpenSea to your wallet. And if you go to OpenSea, so this is OpenSea.io, and it's pretty easy to use. So if I go to these three bars here, at the top right-hand corner, it gives me some options here, and the main blue one here is Connect Wallet. So if I click on Connect Wallet, it's going to ask me which wallet. So these are the wallets that are currently being used by OpenSea. So all you do is click on your wallet. So in my case, it was MetaMask. Okay, and that'll prompt you to go through all the steps to do that. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. And if you get stuck, there are resources to help you do that, particularly that PDF, which is available. Okay, so that's the first step. So once you've connected your wallet, and one thing that wasn't clear that I'll make clear here is when you go to MetaMask, you actually have to have some Ethereum in your MetaMask for gas fees. So those of us who are us who are used to the Binance Smart Chain with HVT, you know, you have to have some BNB in your MetaMask for gas fees. So this is a similar principle. So there I've got some ETH in my MetaMask wallet for those gas fees to use on OpenSea. All right, so I'm just going to switch out now and go back to OpenSea. Okay, so once you've set that up, you are then ready to create an NFT. Now, in my mind, this is a little bit backwards because with OpenSea, when you organize your NFTs, you organize them into collections. All right, and so in my mind, I would make the collection first and then put NFTs into it. But in this method on OpenSea, they like you to create your NFT and then create a collection. So anyways, all you do here is click on create. Let me go back. Click on create. Okay, it's asked me to do all this stuff. So I'm just going to switch back to my MetaMask because mine's already connected. So it's asking me to do something that I've already done. So now I'm in MetaMask. So when you're in MetaMask, the way to get to OpenSea when you've connected your wallet, you go to those three bars at the top left, click on that, and then you go to browser, okay? So if you're familiar with your HVT, you know you've got browsers, right? Your HVT goes into the browser. And so you can see down the bottom of my screen that I've actually got three browsers there. If I click on that, you can see I've got my HVT, then I've got Pancake Swap, and then the bottom one is my OpenSea. All right, so this is where you can create. So if you click on create, it'll take you to this page. This is where you create your first NFT. All the instructions are basically here. So if you see there, the image types, they're the image types you can use, and also the maximum size as well. So you just got to be careful with that. So if you're using a computer, your image sizes might be huge. So you just got to check your files. You can name your item. It will give you a name, an item a name, a description. So it doesn't have to be very long. Okay, so down the bottom here, it already defaults to Ethereum network. Some of this stuff you don't really need to worry about. You can come back and edit it later as well. Excuse me. Explicit and sensitive content. I like this feature because to me, it helps me to realize that there is good on this, but there's also bad, but the bad is filtered out, which is a great feature that I like. So you don't have to use the Ethereum network. You can use any of these that you might be familiar with. A Polygon, for what I understand, doesn't have gas fees. If you use the Polygon network, if you're familiar with that, does not have gas fees where Ethereum does. But I'm familiar with Ethereum, so I'm just using that for the time being. Okay, so that's how you create an NFT. So once you've created an NFT, then you can then go into your account, and then you can then create a collection. Okay, so you have an NFT floating around in there, right? And so then you click on create collection. And so with the collection, it's asking you to put a logo for your collection. So if I just go back to my collections, I've made 2 collections so far. Okay, and so you can see here in the middle there's a little circle with the logo. So that's the logo that I've used. This is my sort of business logo that I set up. And also the background. So it asks you to do a logo. It tells you there what size the logo can be. It's recommended to be. So a feature image and a banner. You can put those things in as well. So then you can name your collection. So for example, in this one, the name of this collection is F35, or this one here is Bell collection. Okay, so that's what that's referring to. You can put a description. Now here, this is really important because you can select a fee. You can choose a fee. So when someone buys and then resells your image, you then collect an earning fee. Every time it's sold, you can collect a fee. So it's up to 10% you choose. You can choose your tokens, which what you can sell it for. So for example, it defaults to ETH and wrapped Ethereum. You can also choose, for example, USDC or any other token you want to receive. And then click on create. So just with the tokens, one thing that I think that you have to do, and I've set this up for mine, if I go back to wallet, you have to import those tokens in there. So you see there I've got USDC, wrapped ETH and Ethereum, which is the default one as well. Okay, so that relates to that. So if you, for example, if you didn't have USDC in your wallet, well, you couldn't receive it if someone bought your NFT. All right, so what I'm going to do for you is I'm actually going to create an NFT in a collection that I've already created. So, and these are just a couple of projects that I've created. And this is just purely for your information. So this is this Bell collection. So my wife's name is Bell, Belinda, and she's an artist. And so her and I teamed up and we created these NFTs from her artwork. So I'm just going to show you this. So we've got 8 items in there. And these are some of the creations that she's made. So this cat one here, this is just a mock-up for a job interview that she did a couple of years ago. And so we've priced that at 0.01 ETH. Okay, so it's really cheap. All right, you might think, well, why is it only 0.01 ETH? When I first listed this, it was actually $10, but the price of ETH, the value of ETH has gone up. And so it's actually worth $12 now. So you don't want to set your price. This is just my thinking. If anyone's got any other thinking about this, please let me know. But this is just my thinking. You don't want to put your price up too high because people will, may look at it and say, oh, well, I'm not going to pay, $100 for that. Some might. But for me, I'm just going to leave it at 1 ETH. 0.01 ETH for now. And the thing to remember too is once it on sells, the price will increase as well. So just for an example, a lot of people might be familiar with this particular collection that some other person's created. It's the Chrome Scribble, right? So I was having a look through this last week, and I can't remember which one it is, but there's one of these Chrome squiggles that was first listed for $27. Okay, whatever how much ETH that was, I can't remember, but it was $27. When you look at the price history, that one hasn't sold any yet, but one of the ones I looked at started at $27 and the end sale was about 100 grand. Okay, so that's the potential. Now, whether that happens to any of ours, that would be great. I had faith and hope that it will. And so that's part of the reason why I feel that you don't want to put your price up too high, because it'll go up anyway once it's on sold, right? So that's just some examples there. So let's go back here. So this is back to my collections. So when you go into your account as well, so the three little bars at the top right here, it's really important to know. So it tells you all your options here. So you go into your account, you can have a look at your profile, you've set your profile up, but I want to go to my collections. So this is the one I've been working on recently. This is a little bit different because what you can actually do, if you watch any of the videos on NFTs can be anything from photos, pictures, JPEGs, and they can be videos, movie tickets, anything, tweets. And so I did some experimentation with videos, and these are some videos that I captured at a air show a few weeks ago on fighter jets. And I just want to show you this one because it really helps you understand the power behind this. And so some people may not, want to buy a picture, for example, but they may want to buy a video. So I just want to show you this one. And if you've got sound on your computer, just turn it up really loud because this adds to it as well. So let me just give it, okay, sound. Right, so it's a short video. Someone may buy that. So there's 3 videos on that. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you how to actually add an NFT to this collection. So I'm just going to add a photo. And these are just photos that I've taken on my camera, right? And so, for example, just going back here, these artworks by Belinda, these are all just photographs taken on my iPhone of her artworks. So we didn't do anything fancy. We didn't do any programming. We didn't put into Photoshop. We didn't manipulate it. We didn't do anything of that. All I did is set it up on an easel, had some good lighting, and took a photo with an iPhone, because our cameras on our iPhones are awesome these days. And you can say that you can see that's it's quite good quality photo. That's all I did. And so going back to this one here, so I'm going to upload a photo today. Video is a little bit more complicated. You have to have the right movie type. And when I did these 3 videos the other day, it took me 3 hours to actually upload them because involved with that was a lot of problem solving as well. If I had to do another one, it would be quite quick because I've already been through the problem solving process. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, these 3 little dots at the top right here, I'm going to click on that and I'm going to add an item. All right, so it tells me here what kind of photo and the size. So I already knew that on my iPhone, this photo that I wanted to upload, I already know the size. If you're not sure, you can actually go to photos on your iPhone. And so I know this is the photo I want to upload, right? And so if you go here, down the bottom, I don't know if you can see that on this screen, but down the bottom, there's little information button. So it's like an eye with the circle around it. So if I click on it, it's not coming up on the screen, but it tells you all the size and all that sort of stuff anyways. So but it'll tell you in MetaMask if it's too big or whatever. All right, so click on the box. It's given me some options. So 3 options there: photo library, or you can take a photo, or choose from your files on your phone. So I'm going to go to my photo library. I'm going to find this picture here. Okay, so it's telling me down the bottom there that's the actual size. I'm not sure if you can see that. But I'm going to choose that. It's the right size. Okay, and I'm going to name this. So I'm going to name, just give this sort of a name. So the name of this jet is actually an F-35, and I'm going to call this F-35 Eclipse. Oops. Eclipse. Okay, so if you wanted to, you can put an internal link there. So like if you had a website or something, I don't, so I'm not going to worry. So you can put a description, can be anything. And I'm just going to put in here F-35. Okay. So this is really important. This is something I've just learned recently. Properties. So you can click on that, and you can sort of give it a character. So a type, and you can come back and do this later if you want to. But I'm going to look into that more later. But for now, so I'm just going to go back to this. Click on that cross to come back to this. Some of these levels and stuff I don't really understand. So that's something that you may have to you'll have to look into yourself. Everything else on here is sort of set. So I want to use the blockchain Ethereum. Just going back to this one, this properties here, that helps to add rarity to your particular thing. So if you go on looking for the Hitchhiker of the Star, for example, each one of those NFTs has a rarity type. So for example, some of them are like Naval Academy or Fighter Academy or something. So you could put a rarity type on that if you want to. So what I'm going to do now is click on create. Okay, and it just prompts you to make sure that you're not a robot. Okay, and then it will take you to this page, and that NFT is now created. Now, the next step in it is created, it's listed, but it's not for sale yet. So what you have to do then now is go sell. Okay, so I'm going to sell this for a fixed price, and I'm just going to keep my price pretty low. I'm just going to put in here 0.02. So it's saying that it's below my floor price. Okay, it's saying that I've got NFTs in that collection that's worth more. So it won't allow. It's saying it's just alerting me that it's below that floor price. So you can list it for a duration. So the maximum is 6 months. I'm just going to put 3. And I'll just click anywhere on there. Okay, and I just clicked on the wrong thing. I just went out of it. So 0.02. I'm going to list it for 3 months. Okay. Okay. And then complete listing. So this is really important. So it goes to this thing here where you have to sign. Now, this is actually where your NFT is actually going to be listed on the blockchain, right? So this is where it's minting. So all this information is going to be stored in the blockchain, and therefore it's not going to be minted, and it's going to be on the blockchain. So I'm going to click on that, and it says your item is now listed. So I can now view the item, and it's listed there. It tells you the price, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so if I go to my collection now, you'll see there's actually 4 in here now because I've just added a photo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
That took a little bit long, so sorry about that. But
No,
hopefully you've learned something there.
That's great. I've actually got a couple of questions from that.
Yep.
I know I haven't done any on OpenSea. I'm just going to stop the share.
Yep.
I haven't. I don't even know how to do that. There we go.
I'll do it.
Oh, sorry. I want to stop share. I'm not sharing my screen. I went on Rareable. That's where I did some NFTs for Forging Links, and on Rareable, you can do it with you don't have to mint. It's like free minting, and then the person who buys it pays the minting for that particular one. Now I'm realizing that I need to actually go over to OpenSea, and I want to start a collection. Just like, thank you very much for sharing out like how to do that, because I want it all in one place as a Forging Links collection. Now I've got to work out if I can get them across to OpenSea. Anyway, I'll work all that out. But when you created your collection, can you remember about how much it cost Ethereum?
Oh, it's only like $5.
Your sound's gone. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, it was only like, it was less than $5.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
Sweet. So I've just got to have some Ethereum put in there. Cool.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That was great. I really appreciate you doing that, Ben, because that was
And it's just a one-off. It's a one-off gas fee for creating your account. So every time you put an NFT in
the collection.
You don't have to pay another gas fee. It's just a one-off.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just
sort of like how you set up your Binance Smart Chain. It's just a one-off fee. Yep.
Awesome. So I don't know if anyone else is excited, but now I've got to find some hours where I can go and do that.
Yeah.
It's our first sunny day that we've had for a very long time. And so I'm torn because I want to get outside, but yeah, that looks pretty exciting. Yeah, Dee said it looks a lot easier than I expected. And it is. When you go in and create the NFT, once you've got it set up and you understand there was one thing I wanted to ask you, Ben.
In the Forging Links chat,
yep.
Messenger chat, I'll put in a couple of links that I found useful as well. And I'll put in that.
Fantastic.
I'll put that PDF in as well.
That'd be fantastic. Yes, so they should put that in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Kev said similar with Mintable. Yeah, because Kev's done his own. I remember right in the beginning he did his own. Yes, it's been recorded. Even that's what I thought, because then we can pause, do the little NFT, go back.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Ben. Appreciate it. And I love the fact that you and Dee have come in today and really, really lighten the load, as I say. That's great.
It's a pleasure.
Right. So we are now on the hour. That's perfect timing. Paul is now back in the land of the living.
Yeah, but I've had my CBD shot. What you need to appreciate, guys, my day started at 4:30 this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing. Great D, great job. Ben, great job. But here's how you make things rare, okay? Because what you've just seen there is people can pull off pictures from anywhere. What I really loved was the personal stuff with the paintings. And let me give you an example.
Beautiful.
That was one of the photographs that Martin Knapp took when he was in Sweden, and that is now produced in an oil painting. So that photograph is now rare. It wouldn't matter when he went back to that place, he would never, ever get that photograph to be the same. That's what you call a rare painting. Now, not to embellish the little lady, but this little lady, our superstar, her NFT, Forge Unix NFT, is Kingdom.
That's looking from one of my hills.
That's
Beautiful.
actually looking over. Now, you can't quite see the house yet because I've got to put the house in here. That's the last thing here because that's the most. But that's going to be Air Kingdom. Now, if she puts that picture in as an NFT, again, that's completely rare because nobody else will ever be able to take that photograph again. So this was what I was saying to people about anybody that has any special pictures. Martin's got about 3,465 photographs of him being on holiday. Now, I ain't painting all of them, I can assure you. But if you have a special painting and you want to commission a painting, I'm happy to do an oil painting and I'll send it to you. Because what you might not appreciate at this stage is we are all pioneers in this NFT. You know, we've only been talking NFTs for 6 months. It's a brand new concept. It's like talking about the mobile phone all over again, the internet all over again. You know, we're right at the forefront. What you do now going forward over the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be going, what? My nan and my granddad were the first pioneers in NFTs.
Exactly.
And if you've got these listed on your channel, then you are, trust me, your grandkids and great-grandkids are going to praise your name for what you've done because you are pioneers. So, yeah, so if anybody wants a special painting, I think Martin's got about 6 orders in. Kirsten will be on 2 because I think she's going to do a campfire one at some point, which is her other little happy place.
Yeah.
I can't even get my paintings in at the moment, so I'm inundated with them. But yeah, but that's the beauty of this. You know, Ben's just demonstrated very aptly how you can take any photograph and you can produce an NFT. Yeah. And if they're your photographs, you know, nature when you're on holiday, when you go for a walk, even taking the dog for a walk, you know, taking photographs with your dog, you know, anything can be turned into an NFT. I can take a photograph of that and turn it into an NFT. Why would anyone buy it? No idea, but people do.
Something else I was thinking too, because when I saw somebody saying you can turn anything into an NFT, right? I like creating things, making things. I sew, I crochet, I knit, I do all that stuff, and I make things for the grandkids. And I was thinking, I could take a photo of a blanket that I've made. I don't understand how, like I could take a photo of it and make it an NFT. Could I then use that in my virtual world or something? Like, what's the point of it? Oh, yep. This brother's thinking of doing poetry as NFTs. Is that so when we take it into the metaverse, we can have it in our home now, or what?
When you look at the metaverse, you got it's difficult. Think of it this way: whatever you can see, touch, feel, and smell can be taken into the metaverse. Your brain does not know the difference between what it sees, what's real, and what isn't. So in a virtual world, you can put these pair of goggles on and you can walk to your favorite beach. You can go and get on board the NASA spacecraft. You can go to Mars. You can go to Jupiter. Your brain cannot tell whether you're actually there or not. So, you know, anything, okay, here's my bar of gold. Yeah, I can take a photograph of that and I can just turn that into an NFT. Now, don't ask me why somebody would want to buy it, but people do. I mean, Ben just demonstrated on one of those NFTs. If I saw it right, I think he had something like $22,000, and I'm thinking, why? That's great. You know, why would somebody pay $22,000 for a squiggle? But they do. So who knows what price your NFTs could one day be? You can set a price. You know, you can say, I'm happy to let this go for $25 or $50 or $100. But what I do know, and this is in answer to Kirsten's question, this is what makes this what it is. There are two principles that govern people's mentality. One is greed and one is envy. People want something because somebody else has got it, because they're envious of it. So if somebody sees somebody with something that they want, they will want it and they'll pay for whatever it is to get it. And, you know, think of it on that terms. Somebody will see that you've got something and say, I actually want that. And even though you might only sell it initially for $25, somebody will come and say, well, I want that, I'll pay 50. Well, I want that, I'll pay 100, and so forth and so on. And before you know it, yeah, Pokemon's a classical example. I never ever got Pokemon cards. My son was mad on Pokemon. And in fact, if I go up in my loft, I'll bet you there's probably a couple of dozen Pokemon cards somewhere in a box. So without knowing it, I could actually have some collectibles up there that I haven't seen for years. You may have toys, you may have, you know, for those of you men who like to collect cars, little cars, dinky cars and all that kind of stuff, and you girls, probably dolls. I'll bet you some of you have got dolls that are probably 20, 30, 40 years old.
I've got a teddy bear collection. I could take photos of my teddy bear collection.
Absolutely. And
you know what you were saying about the brain doesn't know the difference? I saw a training on Brenda's channel the other day about your right and your left side of the brains, and they said it's exactly like when you watch a horror movie. It's not real, but you get scared. You have a physical reaction. You get scared because your brain doesn't know the difference. Exactly right.
Yeah. There's only 2 times I've ever fell off a chair. One was when it collapsed because I damaged my knee doing it. And actually I did it the other week in case and laughed at me, cow. But anyway, what can I say? The other time was when I was stupid enough to actually watch horror movies. And for those of you old enough to remember The Exorcist, I actually went to see that in the cinema. And I came home and said to my wife a couple of years later, I would have to watch that. It came on time. I saw it as a youngster. I was thinking I was about 17, 18, and then when we got together, I was about 21. So I would have to watch that. I quite enjoyed that. And there's actually a part in the film where the priest is actually in a cell, and you know when it goes quiet, and you know something's going to happen, and you think, Pat's like this. She's got a feeling in her ear. She's got her knees up, and she's like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And you know what happens? The phone rings and I fell off the chair, fell off it because I was expecting this big mad thing to happen. And all it was the phone. But my brain was already thinking something bad is about to happen. And I was ready for something to happen. All it was the telephone ringing. But it absolutely scared the crap out of me because I was waiting. I was anticipating something was going to happen. And when it did, it just blew me away. Yeah. But that's what's happening in your brain. It does not know the difference. But yeah, great guys tonight. Lovely, well done. Thank you very much. But yeah, I say, well, getting good at this, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm just replying to Kev because he said, yeah, the brain's so complex because with his condition, he's had to study it in order to understand it. Yeah. And
here's something about
a great part on his recovery. Like, I'd love for you to share some stuff that you learned, Kev, because I know it's relevant to all of us.
Here's something about the brain most people don't know. If you took every computer in the world, every terabyte that it can stock and hold, and you know, there are some powerful computers out there, none of it matches the capacity within our brains. There is so much information that can be stored in our brains, it would scare us to death. And they're trying to create machines that can duplicate the human brain, and they still haven't mastered it.
Now, to bring it all back to finish up, if our brain is that powerful, you can see why we can't drift. We've got to have definiteness of purpose. We have to know exactly where we're going, exactly what we're trying to achieve. And if our brain is that powerful, mate, there's no stopping us. No problems.
And we currently use less than 8% of our brain capacity.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So what do you think the rest of it's going to be used for?
Yeah.
Well,
Hyphenation.
there's the... Oh, go away.
All right.
Well,
That's the end of the call, guys. Thank you very much for jumping on. It's gone a little bit later, but that was a cool call. I love it. Yeah, Ben's just said this time last year, I knew nothing about crypto, blockchain, or NFTs. That's just 1 year of learning and working full time. So the future, and what is it? The future is as bright as our faith, my lovelies. And on that note, I will see you all on Pinnaky's call. I've posted the link, but I'll post it closer to the time, and let's just all get in there and rip it up. Thank you, Dee.
What time is it, Kirsten? Just let everyone know what time it is, UK time, etc.
It's 10 p.m. my time, so I'm actually going to have to probably go to sleep and set an alarm because I'm useless at night. But 11 a.m. for UK, 10 p.m. for me in New Zealand, 8 p.m. for Ben in Australia. Okay, lovelies.
So it's 11 a.m. UK, yeah?
Awesome, Ricky and Lucy. Lovely. Yes. See you all there. Bye.
Get on it, guys.
Bye.
Take care. Have a great night. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the metaverse. We love you.
From now.
Forging links.
Forging links, one person at a time.